Hi everyone, this is Lean and welcome back for some crafty inspiration. I'm using the Partners in Adventures today together with the 3-room Studio Slimline Die by Crafty Meraki. So first of all, I've stamped out these images by my favorite things using my Gina design Amalgam ink onto Transotype perfect coloring paper, and I'm going to color them all in using my Copic markers. Now in the back of my mind I already have an idea of the colors that I want to use on my background, and I want to keep them quite muted because I want to have some fabulous colors for the balloons and I really want them to stand out compared to the rest of the card. So I'm going to use some muted green distressings to ink blend my background on the bottom. So that's why I try to mimic that color using these green Copic markers. So it's a really soft green in my opinion, and then later on with the bright yellow and the bright blue it will really stand out. So I am coloring quite a few trees. I'm not going to use them all, but I currently don't have a clue yet how this bottom half of my card is going to turn out, so I don't know how many trees I actually need. So that's why I just stamped out everything twice, and this way I just have a bit of backup and I hopefully don't have to color anything afterwards. So for the bears today I decided to go for some gold grays. I'm only going to show you how I colored one and this one with the glasses, because this one was a bit trickier to color in due to the fact that this one has glasses on and I had to avoid those. But I'm using exactly the same color combination for the other one, also trying to shade it on the right side of the bear, and that's just how I did it. So I'm avoiding repetition for you today. You already saw me color in how many 10 trees, so that's enough repetition for one day. So with this paper I find personally that I have a better result with my Copic markers if I at least add 2 layers. Sometimes I need more to get a perfect blend, but definitely to have enough depth and my shadows coming through, I just go over it at least once. And then once that's done, I can start on the bright colors that I'm going to use today. So first of all, yellow. I'm doing the glasses in yellow because, well, that's cute I think. And then I will do 1 balloon with yellow and then 2 balloons with blue. Now that is the general idea. Also because this is a thank you card, I want to have sort of a hopeful message and at the same time a bit of serenity. So that's why I have a muted background, some muted green trees, and then the hope is really the yellow vibrant balloon and then the joyful blue that is really contrasting with the yellow. And that's also more towards the top of the card. So with the sentiment saying thanks for giving me the lift I needed, I just thought that was perfect. And I love this sentiment together with these adorable bears and the balloons. I think it's just stunning. It's genius. So that's why I wanted to use it today. And here you can also see that I definitely need 2 layers to get everything going. Also, when I'm adding shadows, when I start on coloring, I am quite, how do you call it? I hold back on adding too much of the darkest color, and then once I know how the colors are turning out, how big the light part of the image is, I come back in and then I am brave and I just go further with the dark colors as well, just to balance it a bit more. But it's better to start with light colors than to have too much of the dark color, because that's harder to get rid of. So I have die cut the 3-room Studio Slimline Die, which is stunning and I think it's so volatile. I already made shaker cards with it, partial shakers, And today I'm not doing any shaker. I actually am going to use it as it is, full, completed. Just my images will be lifted a bit sometimes, and for the rest I'm just keeping this as it is. And I just think this is also a way to use this die. It's not because you have windows that you need to go crazy with dimension, although dimension is life, I know, I love her, but I will add dimension with my foam squares behind my images. But well, sometimes you can just do a flat card and it's perfectly fine as well. So here I am using the green for sort of implicating the ground without having to add a border or filling this complete panel. I'm mostly just ink blending on the edges and then I will splatter a bit later on. But I have this muted green as I colored in those trees as well. Then I have a transition towards yellow because I also have yellow balloons and then the glosses. So that's sort of from the green we are going into hopeful yellow, going to blue being the sky, and well, that's the color we are used to use on our skies. And then a gradient in the blues on the top. So that's how I just decided on creating the background like this. And then of course you can leave it perfectly as is. But well, I don't know why. I'm currently in sort of a mood where I don't want to have too much white on my cards, although I really can make cards that are almost completely white, but not today. So I just smooshed all the colors that I used on the edges. I started splattering them, but I didn't want to have the green on the top of this panel, so I sort of mopped it off using just a paper that I ripped, having it also a bit more organically, how these splashes are being tamed by the paper. And that's just how I build up this background. And this way with the splatters, it sort of takes over the white. There is color everywhere, but it's really subtle and I like it. Also with the lifting and the hopeful message and the grateful message of it, I just love it. So I think this is definitely a way you can do this. Now I am going to stamp out the sentiment on this one window. You can of course also stamp it on the bigger piece or on another window, but for the placement that I had in my mind, this was the best place to put the sentiment. So now I'm going to figure out exactly where everything is going. Now I really wanted the yellow to return on the top as well, so that's immediately the reason why that one bear is going on top. And then I had these two clouds and I was just trying to figure out how I could incorporate it. If it wasn't an option, I could just leave them out, but I think this works. And now I could just start playing with the trees. I adore this rounded tree. It's my favorite of the whole stamp set. It's so cute. But then to have a bit of versatility, to have some changes on the bottom as well, I decided to really mix it up and use all the other trees, one of each. And then the other ones I just kept in on the back of my stamp set, maybe for another card. So once I was happy with layout, I could start adhering things. So I have used some liquid glue and some thin foam squares for this. I started with the liquid glue thinking about all the elements that were behind other ones, and this way I sort of tried to play with dimension and have the images in front definitely be in front by using some thin foam squares. And as you know me, I really prefer adding lots and lots of foam squares. I prefer adding too much than not enough, because when you're mailing your cards, sometimes they can have to go through a lot and a lot of bulkiness and stuff. I don't want all my efforts to be gone or creased or however a card can be treated, unfortunately, with all the hectic stuff. And well, So just to avoid that, I back it up like crazy. I'm not being spare with my foam squares on this. And then once everything is on there, I'm going to glue this panel on top of a card base. Therefore, I'm using just a adhesive roller, and then I can embellish this panel. Now, this panel is quite simple in my opinion, so I didn't want to distract too much with my embellishments. So first of all, my balloons are getting some glossy accents, and of course also the glosses, because that's just so cool that you can do that with glossy accents. I will never skip glosses with the glossy accents. So adding it here, then the big balloon, and then I will finish off this panel by adding some clear drops by Studio Katia. You have so many different sorts of embellishments, but today with a simple card I just decided I wanted to have something but not distracting, so these droplets are clear, you can see through them, so the card still runs through, you can completely see everything that is underneath there, and I just love that. And also with the glossy accent, these bubbles just work. And then once they are adhered, this card is completely finished. So I want to thank you all for stopping by and taking the time to watch this video. I truly hope that you enjoyed the process and of course the end result. If you did, you can always leave a thumbs up on this video. I would truly appreciate that. Some handy links are listed down below in the description box, as well as a full supply list where you can see what I used today. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I hope to see you back when there is some new craft inspiration. Bye!